yes.
Oh, hey Jake,
Ah,
what's up?
klaro man ko na. Okay.
Yep, loud and clear.
Yes. So, how's everything there so far? ECQ?
Okay, yeah man. ECQ but no joke ECQ, kumbaga. Hindi ko, well,
Actually, ano
ECQ
siya
nga,
eh. Ah, okay
pseudo
man siya.
ECQ.
For you, okay bang ECQ nga mo ni or ang last year nga ECQ nga ano? Kaya may ara
Sa
siya, ano, may ara siya pros and cons eh, kumbaga.
oh, yes. Even ang previous nga ECQ that's so tight. Um sa akon, this ECQ is I'm leaning towards like really in the middle. Kay I can't say na it's bad. But I don't want to say it's also good. Okay. Number one is I don't want to. Yeah, I think for my point of view, it's better nga the work still continues because of course the economic structure of Iloilo is really dropping. So they can actually assess of like what kind of establishment can open and then jobs for people, but the discipline should be there. I mean, um, if you're if you're a worker or a laborer and you have a ID man, or let's say for example certification that you're
true.
working, you're free to actually, you're free to go out of your house. But apparently that's not the only thing that's currently happening. I've seen a lot of kids outside sa Munbalay without mask on. And even amo tong last time I bumped into one of the news na one netizen actually took a picture of two kids ara sa city, like really walking sa city without mask on. So I would
And
say na amo na bla, I mean hindi siya mo na I don't I will not say that it's so bad, but at the same time I would not say that's also good because there's no discipline overall. So yeah, I think
exactly.
that's
And
what's lacking.
you know, actually ano man siya eh. And I think compared to the previous ECQ, I think we all have adjusted to how to handle things. Right
Hmm.
now we are more aware of what are the things that we need to do compared to the previous one, which is the out of ano gito yeah, like took us from the back na daw wala ta kabalo. Pero amo na gani. And I mean even going out, because even me, usually I go out usually every day to run errands and all of that. And then even sa jeep, I mean
Yeah.
I don't discriminate because of course everyone's trying to make a living.
Living.
Livelihood is his livelihood. But makita ko lang sa jeep lang wala naging just social distancing. And to think that they are pushing social distancing on workplaces and restaurants and all of that. Pero kung magsakay ka sa jeep, which is damo pag ginadayang nagano ya,
Mm.
nagasakay naog wala na gid ya. And I mean siguro ang kinalain na lang isubong is may plastic siya. But the contact is still there. I mean, I
Oh,
don't know if you
eh,
if you have tried riding a jeep lately, but
I did actually. Last time when I went to the office, I think last week, I left my motorcycle sa balay because it's raining. So I just wanted to commute na lang kasi may van kami. Unfortunately,
mm,
I was really on the verge of really going home pretty bad because call of nature, you know what I mean.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I'm waiting for a taxi. On that unfortunate event, it's also raining. Wala pa taxi. So what I
yeah,
did
one
is
kana
just a
one.
nag-commute ko jeep. And well, lucky enough that
Okay na
there's
tayo.
really less people. There's less people
Siguro, oh, yes,
um
yes.
during that time because it's like 5 a.m. But then again, I mean, I've seen even if nagapass ba ng mga jeepneys, no, may iba niyan
Hmm,
ang plastic cover na wala like it's not
ah,
even attaching. And also
wala pa.
magbayad sila. Aring funny. There was one time na I went I think that was last month, nga nagsakay ko jeep, nagduhol pag iya si Manang. Duhol pag iya si bayan.
Ay,
Tulong ko sa
sinunto.
like mayo lang ang driver, nagambal nga, "Nay, hindi na puwede, nay dakpon
Wag
kami
na,
na,
wag
dili
lang.
na, huwag ka na lang kagatag sakon." Naitulong ko sa abo ko, may COVID na mo.
Okay.
Okay, iduhol mo gid sa akon niya. So, mo na. I mean, wala man, I'm not being disrespectful. But the thing is, I mean, it's protocol and we have to follow it.
Yes,
Anyway,
exactly, exactly.
so
Yeah.
let's talk about the different types of approaches ng current ng mga artists like podcast. I know we have podcasts, we have interviews, we have online concerts and whatnot. How do you view the current transition sang sang scene from the organic type na gigs all over the place to digital?
Uh, it's pandemic, so I really think that this side of though ano siya kumbaga though it's survival for if you're an artist and I mean there are other artists who's not making any type of movement right now because they could just come back anytime. But if you're really the type of person that for example for us that really like to go on gigs and shows and all of that, I think this is the best time to have this pandemic. I mean, I'm not saying that the pandemic is a blessing, but if this happened like years back, uh, like mga 90s or without
Yeah,
technology, everyone's gonna be having a hard time, sharing their art still, and it's gonna be hard to battle uh, it emotionally. If you are the type of person who's uh, if you're into music and that's your only outlet to out of reality as what others is saying, mabudlayan ka because without this type of avenue right now, like online and all of the things that available right now with technology, mabudlayan ka as an artist if you
mhm,
don't have that type of outlet. So I think I don't know if it's right to say that it's a blessing in disguise, but this is for me. This is the best time to face this pandemic because awareness and everything. If you're an artist, you don't have to pay
true.
like a TV station for you to be a guest or whatnot. You have Facebook, you have easily you can create a page and then you can share all of the stuff that you're doing there. And I think uh this stage uh of our lives, it has opened so many avenues for everyone. Like for example, like for you, I mean, you've started your own show on your you have
Yeah,
code brew and everything, and this has created another opportunity that can be very beneficial in the future once the pandemic is done. We all have this outlet to go back just in case we stay idle again or whatnot. So I think for me it's good. It's good, but siguro for those big artists like who's really making is making a fortune out of,
live.
of concerts and all of that, medyo budlay siya for them, I guess. So, di ba, kahit wala gigs,
Yeah,
but so I guess there's both good and bad on
yeah.
this one.
I
How
have
about you? How about
something
you?
in this era. Yeah. I have something that I actually brought into mind. Passion over tech. What do I mean about passion over tech? Um, because back in the day, when you're so passionate over your craft, right? Hard work is an understatement.
Good.
Because passion, it before wala some tech, like way back in the day, when you're passionate, you really have to look for means. You have to look for means in recording your stuff. Wala YouTube, no, no, wala pa. Let's say way back, wala tablatures, and the tech was just really exclusive for elite. So you really have to struggle because you're passionate about your craft, and then you have to struggle. Nowadays, what I've noticed is that passion, some of it may lack hard work. That's why passion over tech, because for the most part, yeah, I like music. I can easily grab a tab and then replicate what the artist is doing. But at times, it's not just always na it's the easy way in. So when you are nowadays, Luno, I mean, from this is just me, and probably some people may correct me from this, but uh when you strive for something that you do, and you only have passion, you're limited to what you can do. If you only have passion, you're just limited to what you can do. But if you're actually you mix passion with innovation and hard work right nowadays, I mean, you're gonna go an extra mile. So you people nowadays is not only limited to a certain point in their life. Now, okay, ako coming from a 90s era, I would stick to the roots. Yes, there's always like that, but at the same time, we also have to think about evolving our ways to actually bring the roots to the modern times. So these things that are coming out in the open, like, we make use of technology. Us being passionate about these things, you also have to consider that we have to also embrace the fact, acknowledge, and consider that we are already in the era of digital media, which means podcast. That even, let's say, for example, even Raymond Marasigan, for example, he's still into like modern trends,
And
right?
I think out of all of the artists, I mean, even before, sang wala pa pandemic, I think Raymond is really one of those artists that I really look up to because, he's that type. Other artists, I don't know, siguro do subong na lang gid sila yan into live streaming or what do you call it, being innovative and all of that. But even before, I mean, Raymond is, I think, ara gid sa dugo ay ang art. I
Mm,
mean, him starting different types of things like the synthesizer. He's been a drummer and all of that, and he's innovation through music. With his other bands, makita mo that he is not only a one-sided type of musician, and I mean he knows how to approach things, and he knows if this thing really is gonna be a hit or it's not, because I think he's looking at it on a much wider perspective as just music. And I think before he's also managing Yan Constantino. I mean, I'm not
so
really sure
yeah.
about that. But grabe yung iyang mind when it comes to music. Kagang mga bands na just like Pedicab, he has this band before Gaijin, wherein there's like, he's with a Japanese and an American guy. So he's really good at mixing things up, kumbaga. And I mean, it really shows on how artistic he is,
Yeah, and
with all of
nowadays,
the things.
yeah, and nowadays, like for my own opinion naman, passion is limited at times. So you have to really blend it with hard work, because passion nowadays is not like before na, you know, you really have to push for yourself in finding means. So I mean, you have to blend in both ends. And as to why, I guess we can start by discussing um these new digital medias that are actually coming out in the open.
Yeah,
Podcasts.
exactly. So, so for everyone who is like new to the page or on Facebook, I think some of them have saw Sound of the South already. Sound of the South before is just like other things that we wanted to do as musicians. We wanted to produce gigs, and sometimes it's hard to do that if you're up and coming artist and all of that. So we decided that why don't we organize our own events as well? So that's kind of like the birth of Sound of the South, and mainly, JP and I are just like collaborating on things, and Sound of the South is one of the result of it, out of us creating music before with Shurbol. So, and mainly before, it's just like gigs, diba? I mean, that's
Yeah.
the and we really never thought of like it would end up like this, like, you know, and I guess it has created an avenue uh, to us, especially during this pandemic. And what other things are we doing before with we have these plans, diba? We have these plans before.
Yes. Sound of the South
Before
TV.
Yes, exactly.
Sound of the South
So the
TV.
ano ba ganun, yeah. So actually can you add more on like your inputs
Uh,
before on how we start?
Sound of the South uh, really started to produce gigs across Panay, and the different ventures, because it's not all the time that you have you're gonna bank up a certain gig anytime anywhere. There would really come a time that you have to spend a lot of resources, time, effort, money, definitely. uh so as this actually went on, I think over the years that it has been since it has been established, we kind of like wanted to diverse as well a little bit on how we want to make the channel or this medium be more accessible to everyone. We even thought of, like, I think you once posted about the top 10 picks
Yeah,
uh for bands locally, and following through with that, and referencing to what you mentioned about the pandemic, it opened an opportunity for us to really utilize this type of media to reach out as well to other to a lot of people in the airwaves, and having this type of approach basically would really bring them to somehow at some point, bring them back listening to like the old times of having to listen to their own band, like, playing in front of them. Because nowadays, I mean, I've noticed most of the people, and I'm guilty of that for one. TikTok, um,
yeah.
Tulfo,
Shucks,
right?
man. I mean, Tulfo. Okay, so aside, yeah, Tulfo is like becoming. I don't know. I don't know. May mga iba, may ito ka scripted. Di ba to?
Right.
Malingaw ka gid, malingaw ka gid. So,
Vlogs, di ba? So we wanted to bring that. We wanted to bring the vibe of, like, ang original plan is really. I even asked you one time if I can put up an online radio for I think that was 2 years back. But it did not materialize because, again,
really?
because yeah, I asked you one time kung pwede, tas siya like
Ano ba
ma-turn
to?
into oh. We even had I even posted surveying mga like cover nights. So I mean,
Yes. So I remember
there
that. I
yeah,
remember that.
there are bigger plans ahead by that time, but it's just that I think everyone got busy, and we focused on our careers, and try
Yeah.
and build our own lives as we grow older. But this pandemic really opened an opportunity for almost everyone, and Sound of the South, I can, if I can, introduce. Son of the South will now be providing you guys an access towards uh, a mere conversation with your favorite artist. It's like bringing you one step closer in knowing your favorite artist, not just not just um, people playing in bands, but at the same time individuals that has different different approach and also mastery about their crafts. So Sound of the South will actually bring you to them, uh, and it's free. That's the beauty of it. It's free. You just have to
Exactly.
you just need to have an internet connection, and then voila. I mean, you get to access them, you get to know them better, and Sound of the South will actually gonna be bringing you toxic
Yeah.
special podcast that
So
we're gonna bring up.
we'll have like few segments every week. We'll try our best because this is not our full time job and we're not getting paid for this. But we will
True.
try our best. To pre-tape everything, and then at least have like a series of shows during the weekend because normally these things would fall like starting Friday until Sunday. So we'll have as what JB has mentioned, we will have Toxic, which is mainly podcast. We'll have different guests that we will try to reach out as many people as we can from the northern part and southern part of Visayas and Cebu and Mindanao. It's not very limited to like locally here in Iloilo. And also we'll still have we'll be moving the heavy hitters. So heavy hitters, as everyone know, it's airing every Friday night with all of the heavy music around Visayas and other parts of Mindanao and yeah, mainly Visayas and Mindanao. And we'll be moving that on Saturday, and then Sunday will be uh, music video reviews and then indie machine. So do I think it's your uh, it's your expertise to find like indie bands, Jake. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised of the amount of bands that you have found because it's very limited man, diba? But
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Siguro I just haven't discovered that part uh
Because
of the scene. Baga.
most of the indie scenes then is really exclusive. It's really and it's really broad. To At first I was struggling how to decipher what is indie.
That's a good
Made me
life,
like
ba? I mean,
right
it's
because
hard.
it's
It's
really broad. The way I understand it, it's not just centralized into one genre alone. Gali. I thought for a
exactly.
while na okay na soothing guitar sound na jazzy and like very ear friendly. I thought for a while that's it. Pero there are some indie bands who actually play, you know, hard music as well, and they are also being categorized as indie. Alternative, let's say coffee drama, right? Coffee
Mm.
drama, we may think of it like more of alternative rock, but
Yeah, or
in
punk or
yeah, or punk, really,
alternative punk. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, gearing towards that. But they're being played in the airwaves. Like any shows about indies, they're actually being played. Their songs are being played as well. And I was kind of surprised. Francis Playground, Francis Playground of from Santa Barbara, right? They're also indie. So I mean, the 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 vast my recollection about indies is really like super soothing sound and ear friendly, but it's not like that gale. It's really a broad understanding of the genre itself. So I would say na indie machine would really feature bands that you did not expect they actually exist in in your local place, and
Exactly.
um, and the music that they create is really amazing. So I think one of the things you get to watch out for that, and that's gonna be every Sunday noontime. So
No,
check it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Next,
And who's that?
who's that?
Who's that? So we actually taped Who's That earlier. I mean,
True.
no. So Who's That will be released. Yeah. So we'll be releasing this first. So we taped Who's That earlier today, and then we have a band that we chose locally as well. So it's our own input. So you guys can correct us if we're wrong about or statements about or feedbacks about the music or whatnot. But that's gonna be one full segment about just us reviewing about the band, and it's also like giving some inputs about how we know, because some of these bands we may know personally, and probably as we go along the way, we'll just go ahead and just take on any type of bands that we find on our local community that we can review, that has their materials on online. And it's not going to be limited only to bands itself. There's going to be other artists. So we're looking into probably the two artists, probably just going over their art and all of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll just try to decide probably more further on what other stuffs are we going to review. So yeah, those segments will be aired from Friday till Sunday. uh it's for free, as what JP has mentioned. So you guys can go ahead and tune in on those
And
days.
yeah, please do like and subscribe to our
We have
channels. We're get
yeah, do we have a YouTube already? A YouTube
Yeah,
na ta?
we did. I actually
Oh, we
created one
did, we did.
earlier. um
So we already did.
yeah, we can actually place it in once this is uploaded, we can actually place it in the
Yeah.
description. Yeah, one thing that I would like you guys to know, Toxic, the podcast version of The Sound of the South, will be aired in three different mediums. There's gonna be in YouTube. We're gonna have one in Spotify, and at the same time, if you're more into like a podcast enthusiast, you can actually check it out in Anchor.fm. You can also check it out in Google Podcasts. It's gonna be posted there, and of course, the main drive of communication is really Facebook. So if you can hit that like and subscribe button, we really
Exactly.
appreciate it. And you will be what will you expect? Um, what's in it for you guys? So basically, we're just gonna hang out, um, talk about anything under the sun. Probably make fun of our
Talk
guest.
about love.
Kidding.
About
About
no
love.
love.
Yeah, and make fun of our guest. Most really, that's the main purpose. But no, but
Yeah,
kidding
man.
aside, it's just really pulling you guys one step closer to them. Especially during these times, and there's just a lot of things going on. Um, there are actually mental effects on to
Exactly.
us with
No,
regards to
yeah.
the pandemic.
And I think pandemic has really increased the number of cases when it comes to mental health issues and all of that. So it's a good way, if you guys don't have anything to do, and you just want to stick around, and you're looking for things to be doing, because normally all of these things will be aired during nighttime. So if you guys have nothing to do during the weekend, it's spot our podcast, tune in to our top picks for heavy hitters, and our music video reviews. It's a good way to just uh lay back and just listen to us do stuffs, and you can comment negative or or positive or whatnot.
Yeah, we don't care. I
Diba?
mean, you go ahead and do that. It's your opinion anyway. But I have one question for you. One last question. Um,
What?
let's say these things are all over. Uh, Pandemic is gone. Everyone is free to actually move around. Where do you see the future of this podcast would be, if in case? Do you think it's still gonna continue, or do you think it's gonna die down, similar to like what the pandemic's gonna be in the next coming years?
I don't know, but I mean, this avenue right here is I mean, for Sound of the South, I'm only looking straightforward. I mean, moving on to like a physical location, wherein we're face to face
Oh yeah.
with our guests and all of that. But I mean, I'm not gonna say that the podcast era itself is gonna die down, because it's already there even before the pandemic. I mean, others are just diving into it, and then just discovering it, but it has been here way before the pandemic. So I guess for me, I mean, once we have started it already, so I think it's just gonna bring us more closer to more opportunities, on how we approach this podcast. And I mean, the farthest that I can see is, just being on a physical location, and then just
Interview.
talking with yeah, in interviewing people. So it's gonna be a long way. I mean, you guys can we're gonna be airing our first episode on Saturday. No, on Friday.
Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So, in a blink of an eye, it's gonna be like season two already start.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna happen real fast. So
The first episode, the first guest
are we
is
gonna be
really
sharing like who's gonna be our first guest, or
no.
no? No, no.
No, let's wait for the announcement. No, but the first guest is gonna be very interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
I've talked to this guy multiple times already, and there's just so many substance. I mean, his I won't go into details, but yeah, he's a very interesting guy. So you guys need to
yeah.
look into it or look forward
Yes.
to it.
So watch out for that. And going back to the question I asked now. So even if it's not the pandemics hasn't died down yet, one of the things that we wanted everyone to take note and remember, and I hope that everyone would apply, get your shots. Get
Oh,
vaccinated.
yeah, man. I
Uh,
mean, are you done? Tapos ka na sang ano mo,
no,
sang vaccine mo?
wala actually may it's gonna be on Tuesday, I guess. Pero anong one shot. Oh, oh,
Oh, that's
one
that's
shot.
Johnson,
Jensen.
Johnson and Johnson.
Ah,
Lucky for you,
Jensen.
man. Actually, I'll have my second dose on next week, next Friday. I know this. Yeah, this Friday, this coming Friday. So, well,
Did
too
you
bad.
feel any did you feel anything after the
Wala. Well, it's a
like,
normal. It's a normal thing. That's why I think siguro the thing about what do you call this? The thing about people getting side effects is that they are not disclosing it to the doctors, because there's like parts of before you get
mm,
vaccinated. So you register, and then you'll go to this area wherein the doctors will be checking your BP, pulse rate, and all of that stuff. And then they're just gonna be putting in some checklists. So you just need to stay true, because they will be saying that they have allergies on that one. When was the last time you had this or that or that? So if you're
mm,
not gonna be true to that one, that might cause other
disaster.
type of side effects. But
Mm,
yeah, but for me, and I mean, Jarens and I took the vaccination at the same time. It's the normal feeling would be like strain on your
mm,
shoulders. So alay yung mga baga. But aside from that, there's nothing else. And they're like gonna be after you get vaccinated, though ipastay ka nila for 10 to 15 minutes, because normally that's the normal time for
mm.
for them to see if there's like side effects or if
Ah, I
there's like
see.
reactions
Oh,
that you're
15
showing.
minutes
So
na 15 minutes na.
you're gonna be detained, and then
Mm,
all of that. So yeah, I mean,
mm.
correct, man. You guys need to get vaccinated and then stop. The other.
Yeah.
Madamo gid gid ya. Madamo gid ang mga tao nga hindi kuno magpabakuna kay ay mo talaga na ba ako gani. You're not putting yourself in danger, but other people as well.
Other people,
So
yeah.
wala,
It's interest
just do it. And
it's
it's free.
interesting.
Like what the heck?
Yeah,
It's free.
exactly.
Oh my god.
It's
Walang la.
interesting. It's interesting pala. That we have agents at first
Mm.
doesn't want to get vaccinated. Pero interesting enough that they, their friends posting it in Facebook, making it like you know what, making it like a bragging right, or let's say for example a privilege now. Hey, I have something to post in Facebook. I got vaccinated. I got my shots. They got influenced, and then like, yeah, mapalista na lang kami sa like, come on. It's like, but that influence really
Tungod
helped.
lang sa
So, yung mga friends nila
wala,
nga, I got vaccinated. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm popular, you know.
ang iba ang iban gani. Ang iban gani ya. Mamangkot pa ya nga wala ka mo da sang sang sticker, nga sticker ginayablan. Kaya Amo pag hindi solo-solo ko, like, what the heck? Amo pag hindi ang purpose, kaya ya. May sticker, pag hindi ya. Kita di ba lang? Tape pareho sa ako nga algodon lang yung kagano. Algodon, tapos wala pa ganito tape, yung pakapta lang sa akon. Tapos ang iba naman wala ko doon may sticker na may ngalan yan. Vaccinate.
Vaccinated. 'Di ba? Ang
Pero
daming
anyway,
impacts ng ano eh. It's the influence of social media. But anyway, yeah, we suggest you guys get your shots, and if we can
definitely.
yeah, if ever there's gonna be a
If you're
chance, and
gonna
I know
delay
that
this, and Ari Pagibala J po, if you think about it, it's a privilege because there are other people who still waiting in line to get vaccinated. Hindi
true.
niya like because diba there's like levels of who will be vaccinated first.
Yeah,
So if you guys are
A1,
like
A3.
having that, yeah, exactly. So if you already have that privilege to get vaccinated, go for it. It's for free and wala. Oh my God, there's no reaction. Wala gid niya reaction sa bulong amo lang gid niya.
I'm gonna get it, and I would encourage everyone to get their shots, and if ever I mean, once everyone get vaccinated, we might air an episode live na in one setting, as long as the guest, me and Louis are vaccinated. I mean, that's possible,
True.
'di ba?
Yeah, diba?
Eh,
Because there's it's a even ano gani, diba? There's a lot of privileges when you get vaccinated. Bisa maglagaw ka sa mall, there are like you get discounts or gift box from SM or even
mm.
kagi namin nalabyan kami ng gasoline station you get for and speaking of that, grabe ang gasolina sa taas, Diyos ko.
Huh?
Though
Saka naman.
mapagkait ka sa nagsaka na. Sa San Okelas na patugong ako.
3 weeks
Or wala kay
ago,
or
wala ko
or
gagawa. Wala ko gagawa. Wala, well,
ta,
gagawa ko, pero, well, nag-commute ko ni last time mo itong bako, last time nag-commute ko, bili ko ni motor. Yeah, wala. 3 weeks yata wala ako patugong.
pero nagtaas naman siya, nagtaas naman ang gasolina. Pero anyway, amo na eh. So, there's a lot of things, going on around and we are just trying to, make it a little easier for everyone. If you have nothing to do, you could, stick around, listen or watch our podcast and everything. We'll try to have as many interesting guests as we can because there's just a lot in our minds right now.
Yeah.
Kadamo gid we have tattoo artists like skaters or there's just so many people that we are thinking of in guesting in the show. So just
Just,
stick around and stay tuned, guys. Yeah, exactly.
yep. And
Uh,
one last thing for me is stay safe, and just watch out for our episode launch this Friday. Toxic in Sound of the South Productions.
exactly. So same thing, guys. So stay safe, and we'll have so many things in store for you. So we'll see you guys around
Yeah.
every week, every weekend. So yeah, I think that's it for this one. It's gonna
So
be good.
thank you, and keep safe. Bye.
Salamat.